Hi, this is Johnny Wilson, and I am aka Johnny Oman, and I am reading one of my favorite fanfics, Casanova Spike, by J. Gerito41. Now, pardon me if I might sound a little silly like doing the voice actors. I'm not good with voice acting. I do by myself. I do a little bit, but I'm not good with reading online and trying to focus. So bear with me, and if I misread some lines and such, if I say some things that's not in the story or a little bit, off, please bear with me. It's my first time reading. I'm going to be uploading 2 chapters at a time because, like I said, I want people's opinion before I upload more. But let's get to the nitty-gritty. Alright, Casanova Spike. Chapter 1, Part 1, Prologue, How It All Begins. It was a chilly day in Ponyville. It wasn't winter anymore, but it was still a bit cold. Spike was inside the library, looking on a book on potions.
Love potions?
Said the little dragon. He turned to the description of the love potion and began reading about it. Whoever drinks this potion will fall in love with the first being they see of the opposite gender they see.
Interesting, he said. I've always wanted to try making a potion myself. I just hope I paid close enough attention to Twilight when she's been making some.
Hey, Spike, called Twilight Sparkle from upstairs.
How's that hot chocolate coming along?
Whoops, said Spike, putting the book back.
I almost forgot.
And he raced into the kitchen. Spike came up to a bubbling kettle on the stove. He turned the stove off and picked up the kettle by the handle, careful not to get burned. Then he poured some hot chocolate into the couple of mugs, one for him and one for Twilight. He then went upstairs to bring Twilight her mug. Twilight was reading a book on the history of Ponyville when Spike brought her hot chocolate.
Careful, he warned. It's hot.
Thanks, Spike, Twilight said gratefully. You're a great assistant. Spike smiled.
That's what friends are for.
Twilight took a sip of her hot chocolate.
What are you reading down there? She asked.
Oh, I was just looking on a book on potions, replied Spike. I was seeing if there was any simple ones I could try and make my own. Twilight seemed concerned.
Are you sure you want to try making something like that?
Of course. I've seen you do potions a lot. How hard can it be? Well, all right, Spike, said Twilight, taking into account of her friend's determination. Just as long as you know what you're doing. Remember when the Cunima Crusaders made a love potion? Spike thought. He remembered Twilight telling him about when Applebloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo had made a love potion so that their teacher, Miss Cherry Lee, would fall in love with Applebloom's big brother, Macintosh. And it resulted in a lot of trouble.
Don't worry, Twilight, he said, taking a sip of his hot chocolate. I'll be fine.
Twilight rolled her eyes and chuckled. Spike tending to overthink sometimes, but he was still able to amuse her. Chapter 2, Potions and Parties. Later that day, Twilight was heading out the door. I'm going to Sugar Cube Corner, Spike, she called. I'll be back in a bit.
Have fun, Spike
called, headed out and closed the door behind her. Spike watched her leave through the window. When she was out of sight, he went to the bookshelf and began looking for the book he was reading earlier.
Now, which book was that?
Which book was it that had love potions, he wondered. Spike picked up a book and looked through it. Nope, he said, putting the book back. Not this one, Then he looked through a second book. Not this one either, he said, putting it back as well. Spike continued looking through the books, trying to find the love potion recipe when he came to another book. Hey, he called, I found my old comic book. I was wondering where that little bugger went. He went back to searching. Sorry, folks. At last, Spike finally found what he was looking for. Aha! He said triumphantly. Here we are. He opened the book to the page of the love potion and began to look through it carefully. Meanwhile, Twilight arrived at Sugar Cube Corner. She was meeting up with her friends. Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy,
Applejack, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash to discuss something. "What did you want us to meet you here for, Twilight?" asked Fluttershy. "Are we gonna go undercover and do some awesome spy things?" added Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash always thinking of some awesome things to do. "No," said Twilight answered. "I've gathered you girls here so we could talk about Spike." "Spiky Wikey?" asked Rarity. Spike had a crush on Rarity, and she fancied calling him her little Spiky Wikey because of it. "Yes," Twilight replied. "Remember all the nice things he's done for us?" "You mean like when he saved me from that Timberwolf?" said Applejack. She remembered when they had staged a fake Timberwolf attack so Spike would save her and get out of her debt. "Or when he took care of our pets while we were gone?" asked Fluttershy. "Or when he made us some super yummy snacks?" asked the bouncing Pinkie Pie. Twilight nodded. "Spike's been very helpful and loyal to us. I think we should give him a special treat to show our appreciation." The other ponies agreed with Twilight's idea. "I agree with Twilight," said Rarity. "Spike has been an absolute darling. We should thank him." "Yeah," put in Applejack. "Let's do something nice for the little guy." Pinkie Pie continued bouncing in excitement. "I know," she cried. "How about a big thank you party? I'll have a cake, ice cream, balloons, and a big banner with a thank you for being a great friend, written in green fire, like when he uses his fire breath." "Looks like we have got a plan," said Rainbow Dash. Meanwhile, Spike was looking at the page of the love potion. "If the cutie Moccasins could do it, so can I," he said with determination. "Now how do I make this?" Now his love potion was actually more advanced form of the love potion made that the one Hearts and Hooves Day, meaning keeping the tasters of the potion from looking into each other's eyes for 1 full hour wouldn't cure them. However, there was an antidote for in case something did go wrong. Spike began reading the instructions. "Step 1. Fill 1/4 jar with sweet liquid," he read. Juice can be sweet." Spike filled a jar a quarter of the way, full of grape and strawberry juice. "Now that was easy," he said, taking a taste of juice. "What's next?" He read the next step. "Step 2. Take 3 roses and mix them with pure honey bee." "Wait a minute. I had to get honey from a hive?" "Go," he gulped. Spike knew the bees would get angry if you disturbed them, but he also wanted to do that potion. First, he bought some roses. Then he spotted a hive nearby. Nervously, he walked towards the hive. Oh boy. Hi there, guys," he said to the bees. Excuse me a second. I had to get some water. "Would you mind if I take some of your honey?" The bees answered him with an angry buzzing. Spike quickly grabbed a hive and raced off as fast as he could with the bees chasing after him. He ran into the library and slammed the door just in time. The bees formed together to make a mad face and flew off to make another hive. "Phew," he said with relief. "That was close." Spike mixed the roses with the honey. Then he added the mixture to the jar of juice. "All right, the final step," he said. "Step 3. Stir quickly with a feather or adding a couple of drops of liquid rainbow and a bit of cloud. Piece of cake," he said smugly. Spike went outside and saw a cloud. It was close enough where he could go to the balcony and reach. He jumped up at the cloud as high as he could and grabbed a bit of cloud. "Got it," he cried. Then he went to the basement and opened a cupboard full of potions. But to his shock, the bees from earlier were there. They looked at him with sinister grins. "Oh, one boy, one." "This again?" Spike gulped. The chase was on once again. The bees chased him all over the library until he outsmarted them and closed the window on them. Spike thought for a minute and tossed the hive to them. "There," he said triumphantly. He ran back to the basement, grabbed a bottle labeled Liquid Rainbow, and went back upstairs to the mixture. "Now all I need is a feather to stir this together." Then Spike noticed Owlicious, Twilight's pet owl, sleeping nearby. Spike quietly sneaked up to the sleeping owl and plucked one of his feathers. This caused the owl to wake up. He was very cross with Spike for waking him up. "Hoo! Hoo!" hooted Owlicious. Then he started chasing Spike, pecking him on the head with his beak. "Ow!" cried Spike. "Hey, cut it out!" Owlicious stopped his attack and angrily hooted at Spike for waking him up. Then he flew back to his post to sleep. "Boy," said Spike, rubbing the spot where Owlicious had attacked him, "it's true what they say. Make an owl angry, he'll make you regret it." Spike added the cloud bit and a few drops of liquid rainbow to the mixture and began stirring it with the feather. The mixture glowed bright pink, and a puff of smoke appeared in the shape of a heart. "Looks good so far. Now I just need to see if it really works." Spike then noticed a male and female bird glancing nervously at each other on a branch outside. This gave him an idea. He took a bit of the potion and put it into 2 small dishes. "I sure hope this works," said Spike. He had put a lot of effort into making the potion. He wanted it to pay off. Suddenly, the birds looked up at each other, began chirping happily, flying off together. Spike was very pleased. "It works!" he cried in excitement. "I did it! I made a potion all by myself. Wait till Twilight hears about this." Well, that's the end of potions and parties.